very good afternoon to you. Welcome to the Victoria Ground in the heart of Stoke. Stoke City, their home side, take on the might of Port Vale this afternoon. One of those intriguing Potteries derbies. The one at Vale Park ended last month, 1 goal apiece, and it's a case of playing for pride this afternoon. Joining me for the first time on a first team television commentary, we welcome Signal Radio's Simon Humphreys. Simon, it's going to be a close match today.
A very close match indeed, yes. I think neither side will give too much away, especially at the back. And I feel that if we are going to get a goal this afternoon, or possibly one, I think just one goal will decide the game. Don't know which side it's going to come from, though. I wouldn't like to say. Obviously, Port Vale, I've followed Port Vale throughout the season. They've played very well. But Stoke City, of course, on the other hand, played very well themselves this season. And I think both the pressure will be off this afternoon, as you've just said. And I think both teams will be glad that they're out of the relegation zone now. And they can play just for Potteries' pride, really, to see who will finish at the end of this season higher in the first division, whether it be Stoke City or Port Vale. But it's going to be a very difficult afternoon because the rain hasn't stopped since mid-morning, and there's a very strong swirling wind here around the Victoria Ground. So it's going to be a very difficult game, and I think that possibly one goal will decide the match.
Well, Simon, these Potteries derbies have got something of a terrific atmosphere, aren't they?
That's right, yes. You look at the Manchester derbies, you look at the Merseyside, the Glasgow derbies, but the Potteries derby, unless you live in the Potteries, you don't actually know what it realises, how it means to people in this area for listening to, and it's certainly going to be a very interesting game this afternoon. And as far as Potteries derbies go, they are very unique indeed, and I think this afternoon it'll be a very close fought contest. The first match, of course, finishing 1-1. Tony Naylor putting the Vale ahead after the first 3 minutes. Lee Sanford, of course, equalising for Stoke on a half an hour, but no Lee Sanford this afternoon. And hopefully for Port Vale, they may well, in particular with Martin Foyle and Tony Naylor, they may well get the breaks through that they need. But Stoke City, of course, they recall Paul Pesky-Salido this afternoon. He partners Martin Carruthers, and of course the Potters will be hoping that Stoke City themselves can get something out of this and gain some very rewarding pride, because it's pride at the end of the day. And let's hope that everything takes place on the pitch. There's no trouble out of the ground after the match or even before the game, and let's hope that the players, of course, they'll have their part to play as well, and let's hope there's no trouble at all on the pitch. Just recently, of course, we had the Crystal Palace Manchester United game. Roy Keane, of course, getting sent off for stamping. Let's hope we have none of that this afternoon, and we hope that we have an enjoyable game.
Well, thanks very much, Simon. Stay with us with your comments. We're going to be looking forward to what you've got to say on this Potteries derby. Well, without further ado, we'll give you the two teams, and we'll start with the home side, Stoke City, and in goal, it's Ronnie Sinclair. At 2, John Butler. 3, Ray Wallace. 4, Ian Cranston. 5, Vince Overson. 6, Laura Sigurdsson. 7, Paul Allen. 8, Kevin Keane. 9, Paul Pesky-Salido. 10, Martin Carruthers. 11, Nigel Gleghorn. The subs are Scott, Gale, and the goalkeeping substitute is Mark Prudo. Port Vale line up as follows, and in goal it's Paul Musselwhite. 2, Brad Sanderman. 3, Alan Tankard. 4, Andy Porter. 5, Neil Aspin. 6, Dean Glover. 7, Ian Bogey. 8, Robin van der Laan. 9, Martin Foyle. 10, Tony Naylor. 11, Steve Guppy, substitute to Lee Glover, Kevin Kent, and Hardian van Hoosden. We're underway then. Balls with Sanderman. Sanderman looking for the options, measures one forward. Cut out by Wallace though. And there's no offside against Martin Carruthers, and Paul Musselwhite screws one into touch. Stoke City starting very, very strongly indeed, and Port Vale will need just to calm things down a little bit. But this is Sigurdsson into Pesky-Salido. Sold him short though. This is Naylor looking to set up a break for Port Vale. Lazy back to Aspin. Aspin forward. And there's John Butler to head all the way back to goalkeeper Ronnie Sinclair. Like Simon has already said, it's a very windy, very wet day here at the Victoria Ground. Playing conditions are going to be difficult. Any ball that's hit into the air, you would feel, is going to cause problems. Port Vale, obviously, their style of play dictates that they like the ball played on the ground, and that might well suit them this afternoon, but we'll have to wait and see how things go. Aspin wins that particular duel. And there's a foul in there. Sanderman takes it quickly, sprays it out wide, looking for Guppy. It's cut out though by John Butler, only as far as Tankard. Tankard to Foyle. Foyle salves that one short for Robin van der Laan, and Stoke City have possession. It's drifted forward looking for Pesky-Salido. There goes Paul Allen. Neil Aspin though clears, and Sigurdsson, who seems to have adopted a left back role at the moment, helps it along to Pesky-Salido. Allen gets the foot on there. Gleghorn, though, is robbed by Naylor and played up the line from Martin Foyle, and Foyle is unable to get there. It's played back across the box, and very cool, as you like, to the skipper, Vince Overson. Sigurðsson clears that one. This is Foyle. It's back with Dean Glover. Glover to Tankard. And Tankard leaves it short. This is Kevin Keane. Out to Gleghorn. A terrific atmosphere as Gleghorn brings in Sigurðsson into play. Strong challenge by Porter, though. Picked up again by Gleghorn. On the ball, looking for the options. Has to go back to Wallace. Wallace coming forward. One remembers the goal he scored on the televised game. He helps it along to Gleghorn, though. Sigurðsson. Stoke City's fans urging it forward. And Sanderman goes in against Gleghorn, and it's finally cleared by Alan Tankard. Foyle. Back to Van der Laan. It was headed by Cranson. And the ball's out of play on the far side, and Simon, it's a frantic opening.
It's a blood and thunder opening, Tony. A very good start to this Potteries derby. Both sides going at each other like 150 mile an hour out there, and certainly with the weather conditions, I'm sure there might be one or two tired legs come the end of 90 minutes. But certainly both sides are having a go at it from each other, and let's hope that things will settle down a little bit as Port Vale know they can play. They play with they like the ball played along the ground. Stoke City, of course, hustle and bustle wherever they play. And I'm sure Lou Macari's men, there won't be no short of commitment from them. They'll be going from the very first whistle all the way through to 90 minutes. And I think we'll be in for a very interesting game. But as we've started at the moment, we've just played a couple of minutes, and it's a very interesting start.
Thanks, Simon. Well, ball helped along to Porter. Porter was looking for Naylor. Naylor, it ricocheted off Naylor. This is Sinclair. He clears it. Headed forward by Bogey. Down by Vince Overson. Kevin Keane was in there, but so was Tankard. Ray Wallace. Ray Wallace played himself into trouble there against Tony Naylor. And this is Cranson to put it back to Sinclair. Aspin forward with the header. It's returned. Glover was in there. And Tankard plays it back to Paul Musselwhite. And Musselwhite, casual as you like, out to Dean Glover. Back header. Van der Laan takes it on the chest. Tries to find himself some space. Plays a lovely ball forward. And Sigurðsson's going to let this one go out of play. And you have to say, Simon, that this lad Sigurðsson is one of the finds of the season.
He certainly is. He's an excellent player, already an Icelandic under-21 international, and with Toddy Orliksson missing today because he's in the full Icelandic side, I am very surprised that from what I've been hearing and what I've seen of Sigurðsson, that he's not in fact in the full Icelandic squad himself. And I'm sure it won't be too long before, especially at the start of next season, if he remains a Stoke City player, of course, that one or two of the Premiership clubs, Manchester United, Liverpool, your Blackburns, I don't think it'll be too long before they'll be sniffing around the Victoria ground looking at this young man, because he's only 21. A lot of people don't realise how young the lad is, and I think he's a very good prospect for the future down here.
So that's Lars Sigurðsson, his cousin Toddy Orliksson on international duty, as you've just heard. But this is Musselwhite with the clearance from the goal kick. It's a long one. He's got the wind with him, though. Van der Laan bouncing straight through for Naylor. Naylor to Guppy. Now, what can Steve Guppy do? Plays his square to Bogey. Bogey finds Van der Laan. Van der Laan to Sanderman. Sanderman back to Van der Laan. Pesky Salido's in there. Gets a foot in, does Pesky Salido. And now Stoke City can break through Paul Allen. Paul Allen with Carruthers. Carruthers now looking for the options. Keane just in front of him. It's picked up though by Tankard. Robbed though, and brought down, is he? By Tankard, I think that was. And I feel that Paul Allen made a little bit of a meal of that. But this is a dangerous place for Port Vale to concede a free kick. Kevin Keane will be there to take this. John Butler has drifted out to the right. It's taken though with Gleghorn's shot in mind, and it's a ricochet. If that goes, it's going to be a corner. But there's been an offside. So Musselwhite with time to deal with this now. Offside was the decision as Glegor let fly with the shot. I think it was Carruthers that had just moved offside. But it's an afternoon packed with atmosphere here at the Victoria Ground. It's a ground that I personally like coming to commentate because it does sort of generate a tremendous atmosphere. As Keane plays that one forward, chase now for Pesky Salido. Robbed though by Neil Aspin. Intelligent play, finding Tankard. And Tankard up the line. That's going to be a Stoke City throw. Butler returns with the throw-in. It's helped along by Carruthers. Carruthers gets it back now, and Dean Glover's in with a timely challenge. Tankard forward. And Musselwhite needs to come out very strongly forward. And Foyle against Sigurðsson. And Sigurðsson, this first touch let him down momentarily, but he won't be too disappointed with that. Sanderman. And the ball breaks free for Aspin. Flecked on from Foyle. Sigurðsson clears only as far as Bogey. And Guppy was in there. And this is Johnny Butler on the far side, looking for the options. Plays it forward. Nice ball to Keane. Carruthers can pick it up, finds Wallace. And Wallace escapes the challenge from Van der Laan. This is Butler. Trying to bring in Ray Wallace down the overlap, gets it back. Might fall for Carruthers, and over there doing a tiny defensive job is Neil Aspin. But it's all Stoke at the moment, Simon.
Certainly, Stoke have got the bit between their teeth at the moment, Phil, and as you say, it's a very lively start from both sides, but Stoke at the moment are having the upper hand. They're getting to the ball first, they're moving it out quickly to the forwards, in particular Pesky Salido and Carruthers, and it's Stoke who are applying the pressure in the opening 10 minutes or so.
So throwing on the far side. Keane trying to interchange there with Butler. That's going to be a goal kick to Port Vale. The booth then packed out away to our right, and behind the goal that you're currently looking to, the Port Vale fans packed in, locked in a singing combat this afternoon, the two sets of supporters. This is Carruthers though. Has to go back though to Cranston. Cranston being told to play the ball back to Sinclair, and Ronnie Sinclair has time to control it and releases a good upfield ball, in which Steve Guppy wins, but only manages to put in touch for a Stoke City throw. Glover with a backward header. Carruthers in against Aspin. He needs to be strong against Neil Aspin this afternoon as Carruthers gets the ball back across, and it's a diving header out of goal from Dean Glover. But this is nice play from Stoke City, and Sigurðsson has time to play it to Allen. It was let run to Keane. Keane gets the return ball, Butler gets the return ball back, and it's swirling around under there. Glegor. Bogey crowds him out of it though. Wallace. Tankard gets the header away this time. This is Keane. Allen. Butler on the far side. Glegor. And that's great football from Stoke City, releasing Ray Wallace down this near side. Wallace gets the ball onto his right foot, swirling in there. Tankard it is that gets the header out, and Steve Guppy can relieve the pressure for Port Vale. A frantic opening in this Potteries derby. And it's Stoke City with the better of the early exchanges. Some nice midfield passing there from Stoke City, and they've had such a lot of criticism really for the long ball game. Showed no signs of it so far this afternoon though. Foyle. And Foyle wins the throw-in. Tankard out there to take. Finds Naylor. Naylor robbed though. This is Van der Laan. Sanderman. To Bogey. Bogey, nice back heel. Naylor looking for the return of Bogey. and there's an offside. But that was Port Vale showing that they can play too, and did quite well there. Ian Bogey, intelligent sort of back heel into the feet of Tony Naylor, and the return ball, well, it was just a little marginally offside. Sanderman with his throw in to Naylor, and played back to Sanderman. Ball out of play though. Sigurðsson, who's got quite a healthy long throw if he needs it, tries to find Glegon. Glegon with a flick on, and Aspin will clear. Into touch, another Stoke City throw in, and they are forcing the pressure with these throw-ins, Stoke City. Pesky-Salido to Sigurðsson, Sigurðsson to Glegon. And that's another Stoke City throw. Pesky-Salido, Kevin Keane making a run towards the near side. Martin Carruthers hanging at the back of the 6-yard area there, and the Tony half cleared, Vanderlaan helping it along. Ray Wallace gets it back to Nigel Gleghorn, and Gleghorn in, and Musselwhite needs to be strong, and he measured it well, didn't Musselwhite never took his eye off the ball, and releases the throw to Tankard, who finds Guppy. Guppy crowded out of it though. This is Carruthers, Pesky-Salido, and that was a close thing. That was a hell of a try there from Pesky-Salido, Simon.
Cracking effort there from Paul with his left foot. I don't think he's as strong on his left foot, but he certainly had pace in that one. And if he hadn't have taken that deflection, I'm sure Paul Musselwhite would have been very trouble with that effort. Cracking start there by Stoke. They're beginning to force the issue now even more so. Paul Allen in particular in midfield, and Kevin Keane, they're certainly getting the ball through to the forwards well. And that effort from Pes not far away.
There we go then, it's Kevin Keane with the corner. It's going to be right-footed, so this will swing in towards the Port Vale goal. Glegon on the near post. There's a bit of pushing and shoving. Musselwhite got the fist to it. Bogey needs to clear. Only as far as Wallace, and Wallace couldn't keep the shot down. But Port Vale need to get themselves back into this game now. There's just 15 minutes gone. Stoke City 0, Port Vale 0. This is Guppy. Crowded out again though. Wallace can come forward. Pesky-Salido. Back to Keane. Butler is wide. He gets the ball now. And plays a lovely ball down the far side to Martin Carruthers. And Tankard concedes yet another throw. This time on the far side though, and Butler will go across to take this. Guppy can clear. Naylor with a flick on. Martin Foyle tries to challenge Cranston now. It's gone behind, however, for a Stoke City throw. Bitterly cold afternoon, and who said this was summer, eh? This is Keane. Cranston helps it forward. Carruthers has time to get the header in, but Aspin steals the show. Loris Sigurðsson gets the ball back, and Sanderman can just check that one down to Andy Porter, and Porter plays one up the line. Far too strong though for Tony Naylor. Glegon gets the header forward. Pesky Salido's there. Helps it overhead. Pesky Salido crowded out by the Port Vale defence, and this is Dean Glover helping along to Tankard. Tankard beaten by Ian Cranson. Still to this day the record purchase from Stoke for Stoke City, £485,000 from Sheffield Wednesday. Foyle with a flick on. Naylor's there. Sigurðsson though reads it, gives it straight away though to Sanderman. Sanderman turns infield, finds Porter, and Porter fails to find Tony Naylor. Van der Laan puts that one in touch. Stoke City throw this time. Aspin stands in strong on the challenge of Carruthers, but Keane looks to find Pesky Salido. It was cut out. This is Glegon. Allen. Glegon again. Forward. Sanderman turns smartly against Pesky Salido. Releases the ball upfield. Sanderman gets it back. It goes upfield again, and it's nowhere near Martin Foyle really. Ronnie Sinclair over there. Play should continue from that, because although Martin Foyle was way offside, he was coming back. So the referee allowing Ronnie Sinclair to continue. Bogey gets the header forward this time. Naylor beaten, not surprisingly, against Ian Cranson. Sigurðsson. Sigurðsson does well on the overlap. Finds Pesky Salido, who finds Ray Wallace. Out to John Butler. Butler forward to Carruthers. Back to Butler again. Carruthers again. He's forced backwards though. And Porter's in there. And Naylor returning the ball to Porter. Port Vale need men forward. It's measured forward. And Cranson puts the ball into touch for the Port Vale throw. And the move breaking down from some poor control by Martin Carruthers there, Simon.
That's quite right, yes. Carruthers was forced backwards, and eventually he gave the ball away, losing control of the ball. And of course Port Vale quick to capitalise that and move forward straight away into the Stoke City half. And in fact a chance now for Port Vale coming up.
And it's Foyle that jumps there, and Port Vale are going to get their first corner of the game. And they'll need to be at the best. This will need to be a perfectly delivered corner, because when Overson and Cranson are playing, not a lot of teams get a lot of joy out of the Stoke City defence, aerially of course. Foyle looking about there. It'll be another corner. Sanderman making his way forward. Dean Glover's up there. And Steve Guppy, I remember talking to Steve around about the Christmas time, who said that it meant a lot to him to play in these local derbies. He'd never played in one before. But Guppy with this one. Left-footed, taking it too far. It's a corner wasted, you have to say. It was aimed towards Robbie van der Laan, and never reached the proposed target. Sinclair, goal kick. Porter gets a foot in against Glegon there. And Martin Foyle is adjudged to have impeded Lawrence Sigurðsson. Well, Sigurðsson will take this free kick. Helping it forward. Keane jumps there against Robbie van der Laan. the free kick this time. Musselwhite aims it towards Foyle. Foyle gets a flick onto Naylor. Good turn by Naylor, and Wallace gets the ball away. Only as far though as Brad Sanderman. Sanderman again. Down the flank this time for Martin Foyle. And Martin Foyle brought down there by Ian Cranson. And that is a yellow card for Ian Cranson. And Martin Foyle left in a heap there. Simon, you had a pretty good view of that. How did you see that one?
Very bad challenge indeed from Ian Cranson, although I think looking back at it, it looked far worse than it already was there. Martin Foyle going down in a heap there, but he was just a bit late really going for the ball there, Cranson, and I think allowing for the conditions as how slippy they are, I think one can only say that really it wasn't a bad challenge. Martin Foyle is getting back to his feet, but he certainly was a bit late with his challenge there, and rightly so, getting a yellow card, because the referee's got to calm down on incidents like that, and he's got to produce cards wherever necessary.
Well, I think that certainly deserved one there. Steve Guppy then, this is going to be left-footed in, swinging. Swings in there, and Sinclair measured that one all the way. It was Martin Foyle that was making the challenge, but Sinclair had got it watched all the way, and still on these opening exchanges, for me, Stoke City just edging it in terms of possession. But Port Vale inching their way back into this game. Glover forward. That'll come straight through to Paul Musselwhite. Gleghorn forward, and Dean Glover just turns it back to goalkeeper Paul Musselwhite. Neil Aspin, I'll put it forward to Bogey. Bogey selling it short to Sanderman. Gleghorn can break. Plays the ball for Pesky Salido, and well marshalled there by Dean Glover. That's forward for Tony Naylor. Release forward again, absolutely nobody there for Stoke from Port Vale. A miscue clearance though by Vince Overson. Wallace is under there. Cool as you like, back to goalkeeper Ronnie Sinclair. I came down to watch Stoke City in their last home game, and Ray Wallace really impressed me. He had a terrific game. Today playing on the left side, sort of right, well, in the middle of midfield really. Drifting about all over the place. That's a good midfielder should. Gleghorn with this throw. Gleghorn taking his time with it. Glover putting the ball into touch for yet another Stoke City throw. Gleghorn, long throw specialist then. Tries to aim that towards Sigurðsson. This is Wallace. Great ball to Gleghorn. Gleghorn, good cross. It beat Aspin, and Pesky Salido gets the header on goal, which was always going wide, Simon.
That's right, yes. I think he was put off by the fact Neil Aspin jumped right in front of him, and of course he saw it at the last minute, and he didn't really have much chance as the ball come over from Gleghorn's cross. He didn't really have much chance to guide the header towards the goal there, and I think it was an instinctive header, but at least they're getting headers in on target, well, on the goal, should I say, and that's what Stoke City have to do if they're trying to progress and trying to get goals this afternoon. They've got to get crosses in like that and hopefully score goals.
Well, Stoke City win yet another throw-in on this near side. Sigurðsson will take this time. Looking for Gleghorn. Pesky Salido. Carruthers against Dean Glover. Glover not sure where the ball was actually going to go. and they're getting a little bit of a mix-up, but cool as you like, Dean Glover. Defensively sound there. Sanderman forward. Good challenge in though by Gleghorn. Sanderman. Foyle back to Aspin. Aspin back to Dean Glover. And Glover helping it forward. This is Johnny Butler to Keane. Infield for Carruthers. Carruthers to Wallace. Wallace twisting and turning. Gleghorn appealing for the ball over this near side, and it was watched by Sanderman. Sanderman gets the ball back from Porter. Foyle. Bogey. Tankard now. Guppy. Turns it back to Tankard. Tankard forward. Naylor. And there's an offside. Offside it was. But again, it was intelligent football from Port Vale. And Tony Naylor finished up getting the shot on target, but it was offside. But Port Vale inching their way back into this game. It's still goalless here at the Victoria Ground. 28 minutes gone. Dean Glover forward. Wallace. Keane. Keane helps it forward. And Glover puts the ball into touch. I'd love to know the throwing count for Stoke City this afternoon, Simon, because they seem to have taken an awful amount, don't they?
That's quite right, yes. They've certainly done this left-hand side with Sigurdsson and Gleghorn. They've certainly had plenty of throw-ins at the moment, and they're beginning to pick up 1 or 2 on that far side of the field. Incidentally, going back to that effort just from Tony Naylor, I'm not so sure it was Naylor actually offside. I think the linesman did actually flag for Martin Foyle, who wasn't interfering with play, but I think it was Foyle that was standing in the offside position, and the linesman had his flag up straight away. But as it was, the goal didn't count, and his shot was saved by Sinclair. But Stoke back on the attack now with a free kick.
Well, they certainly are. This is Gleghorn. Great cross. Oh, so there's Gleghorn. It was Butler with the free kick. And Porter gets challenged there by Gleghorn. Unfairly, says the referee. And Paul Musselwhite will take this. Presume he'll look for Robin van der Laan or Martin Foyle here. And Sigurdsson beats Porter. And this time Port Vale have the throw-in on this near side. This is Sanderman. Aspin forward, Porter. Porter getting in there against Sigurdsson. And Cranston releases the ball upfield. Pesky Salido gets the flick on. It was well marshalled by Dean Glover. This is Tankard now, getting the ball back from Guppy. Guppy releases Bogey, keeps it in play, does he? Yes. To Van der Laan, turns it along to Tankard. Back to Guppy. Guppy crowded out there on the far side, but Bogey can find Van der Laan. This is Ian Bogey again. Nice ball, looking for Naylor. And goalkeeper comes out very, very smartly there. But it was well marshalled back by the Stoke City skipper, Vince Overson. Glover clears upfield and Overson's there. Wallace, Keane. This is Carruthers, well controlled by Martin Carruthers. Runs straight into the wall, it is Dean Glover though. Allen pushing forward. He runs straight into Andy Porter though. And Sanderman releases the ball upfield. Paul Allen. Sigurðsson, pesky Salido. This is Carruthers. Paul Allen, will he try his luck? He twists. Neil Ashman gets a foot in, so does Bradley Sanderman and Porter. Ball towards his own goal there. Ashman in. Tankard in there. It's blood and thunder out there on the pitch at the moment. No prisoners been taken whatsoever in the challenges. Keane forward. Nice clearance though by Dean Glover. And this is Butler to measure the cross. Pesky Salido halted along, trying to look for Glegon. It was Sanderman in there with the timely intervention. Sigurðsson with the throw-in. Porter gets the header there. Van der Laan heads forward. Naylor, Bogey. And Port Vale get the free kick, and the linesman signalled to the referee that there was use of the elbow there, Simon.
Yeah, that's right. I think it was half a dozen of one and six of the other, but Sigurðsson did seem to raise his elbow there, and the linesman right on the spot, quite rightly indicating a free kick for Port Vale.
So Sanderman then with the opportunity to put the ball into the Stoke City penalty area. Wallace gets the header away. Glegon's there. And Glegon clears to pesky Salido. Again, Port Vale break down the move forward themselves. Cranston gets the head in from Stoke City though. Headed forward by Dean Glover. Porter. Van der Laan. Glegon wins that one for Stoke. Pesky Salido. Allen. Pesky Salido was making a great run forward there, but he couldn't be found by Nigel Glegon. So Bradley Sanderman will take this throw in for Port Vale. Glover with a challenge on Martin Carruthers. The referee says it's fair challenge. Vince Overson heads only as far as Ian Bogey. Bogey being hustled by Paul Allen, but finds Tankard, and Guppy only gives possession away to Stoke City, and this is Johnny Butler on the far side. Van der Laan, smart challenge, and that was a challenge there by Ian Cranston, cutting the ball out there when Tony Naylor would surely have been through. Foyle, Guppy. This time he finds Sanderman. Cranston heads down for Keane. Glegon. And Musselwhite out to gather that one. But we've yet to see an effort that really will try any of the goalkeepers yet in its first half time.
It's quite right, yes, both keepers have really been unemployed, apart from through balls, and the ball, of course, with all the rain we've been having, that particular through ball from Nigel Glegon just skidding along that bit quicker on the surface, just out of Pesky Salido's reach. And of course, that's where players have got to weigh their passes up. They've got to be pinch perfect on a pitch like this with the weather.
Pesky Salido had taken a dive there, said the referee. Wave play on. This is Tankard coming forward. And he's robbed of it though by Kevin Keane. It's a bit frenetic out there at the moment as Musselwhite can make the clearance. And Tankard puts the boot on that one and finds Martin Foyle. Now, with Port Vale needs support, he's played slightly behind Van der Laan with the shot. It was a tame effort in the end. Tony Naylor stepped over the ball, and I think he caught Robin Van der Laan a little bit unaware there, Simon.
I think it did. I think Robin van der Laan was going to shoot there from 25 yards out. I think we were going to see one of his blockbusters that we know he's capable of. But I think Tony Naylor's foot over the ball there did put him off, and of course he only got half power behind it. Easy one for the Stoke goalkeeper there, Ronnie Sinclair.
How Robin van der Laan would like to get his name on the score sheet this afternoon. It was he that a couple of years ago put Stoke City, the holders then, out of the Autoglass Trophy. And in that particular year, Port Vale went on to win that said trophy. Ronnie Sinclair then, clearance out of goal, trying to find Carruthers. He was beaten to it though by Glover. As he's at Van der Laan, Sanderman. Forward, Vince Overson just lets that one go straight through to Ronnie Sinclair. Carruthers, good control, taken on the chest by Martin Carruthers, lays it back to Ray Wallace. Pesky Salido. This is Carruthers. There was an appeal for offside there, and Tankard saves it from going for the corner. It's going to be a throw into Stoke City, and that's an offside. It was Johnny Butler there. It's a just straight offside from the return pass of Kevin Keane, but they're combining well on the far side, Keane and Butler. Butler going on the overlap whenever he can. Foil against Cranston, and Cranston wins the aerial duel quite easily. That one went, I thought off Steve Guppy at first, but obviously not. And this time the other goalkeeper, Ronnie Sinclair, will clear. With 5 minutes to go to half time here at the Victoria Ground, and it's still goalless. Stoke City 0, Port Vale 0 in this local Potteries derby. Foyle with a flick on, cut out though by Sigurðsson. Tankard. This is Carruthers, again his first touch just let him down there. But this is John Butler. And John Butler will take the throw in. Butler moving down the far side, runs into Dean Glover. And Dean Glover wins the throw in. Tankard to take this one, he's looking for Van der Laan. He was beaten though, Van der Laan. Bogey and Porter. Bogey miscontrols, but it'll roll back to Neil Aspin. And Aspin hits the ball looking for Tony Naylor. And Naylor had impeded Ian Cranston there. It was a poor clearance by Ronnie Sinclair. It was helped forward by Bogey, and this is Gleghorn to Carruthers. Carruthers getting himself into a tangle again with Andy Porter. Van der Laan clears. Martin Foyle against Ian Cranston here, and Cranston hits the ball at Martin Foyle, cool as you like, and wins the goal kick. Ronnie Sinclair is struggling to clear from the goal kick at the moment. There's very much of a crosswind blowing against the Victoria Ground. This is Kevin Keane though, looking up. Ray Wallace has got himself into a perfect position, but what a great challenge from Robin van der Laan that was. This is Ian Bogey. Guppy back into Bogey. Bogey surges forward. Has Naylor going on the overlap, and it's Vince Overson that gets the overhead in there. Van der Lawn finds Guppy, and Guppy goes for the byline, cuts across, and that's going to be a corner. So then, what can Port Vale produce from this corner? And it's Ian Bogey that's going across there to take it right-footed, hoping to use the wind and swing it towards the Stoke City goal. Van der Lawn has been trapped by Vince Overson. Ronnie Sinclair punches. Porter's there, and Vince Overson it is that clears. Aspin there, heads it forward, finds Glover. This is Sanderman. Sanderman to Van der Lawn. Van der Lawn is tackled brilliantly by Sigurðsson. Gleghorn infield to Kevin Keane. And the noise level picks up once again at the Victoria ground. This is Paul Allen. Kevin Keane trying to go on the overlap. Gleghorn's there. He finds Keane, who finds Gleghorn. To Paul Allen. And Allen turns smartly, looking for the options, finds Gleghorn. They're waiting for the cross. Easily for Paul Musselwhite in the end. Porter gets the head on there, and Sigurðsson turns it back to Ronnie Sinclair, and Sinclair clears upfield. So as we approach half-time, Simon, who's going to be the happier of the two managers?
I think John Rudge will, to be perfectly honest with you. I think Port Vale haven't really got it going in this first half. Stoke have hustled and bustled, and they've chased and harried for everything, and particularly in midfield. And in particularly Steve Guppy for Port Vale, really. He's been down that left-hand side, and we've only seen really in the last couple of minutes his first crossing of the game. And I think it's on that right-hand side that Stoke have done very well, and particularly with Kevin Keane and John Butler, and certainly Port Vale's defence has had the hands full. Saying that, now the goalkeeper have had a save to make, a crunchy tackle going in there from Ray Wallace. But now the goalkeeper has had a real save to make, and I think that typifies the Potteries derby. Plenty of 150-mile-an-hour action, but as yet now the goalkeeper been tested. Let's hope for better things in the second half. But I think being on the away side, I think John Rudge might be getting into his players at half-time, telling them to change things around a little and get stuck, and particularly in that midfield, get stuck in more, and let's harass the Stoke defence into making for errors. But certainly Lou Macari will be well pleased with his side's performance in this first half. They've given tremendous commitment, and I think Lou Macari will be asking for more of the same from his lads in the second half.
Well, thanks, Simon. And it's a throw on the far side. Tankard takes it and gives it straight to Kevin Keane. And Pesky Solido can help to break things, but Porter picks the ball up in midfield, finds Naylor. Naylor's well shepherded. He needs to find Guppy. And Vince Overson, it was that got the challenge in on Tony Naylor, quite fairly, says the referee. This is Gleghorn, drags the ball in field, finds Ray Wallace. Wallace to Keane. And Keane, that's a beautiful pass there to Gleghorn, who couldn't keep it in play. And Ray Wallace is in a crumpled heap in the centre circle at the moment. So the referee is just waiting for the trainer to finish his duties there. Port Vale have the throw-in on this near side. Porter goes across and has a word with Bradley Sanderman. And Simon's just told me that he saw the challenge on Ray Walker, and Ray Walker, I'm saying that's the wrong side. His player's not even playing. Ray Wallace, and it was a late challenge by Ian Bogey. The referee obviously didn't see it, never picked up by the linesman, and that's half-time. So as Simon said, it's all things even at half-time. No goalkeeper really trouble to make a save. A lot of action in the midfield area, a lot of hustle and bustle and strong challenges. But half-time, it's Stoke City 0, Port Vale 0. So Pat Boothen and then saw the first half end 0-0. Simon, what have Port Vale got to do to change this around this little bit in the second half to get themselves, you know, a goal at least? Because they didn't look as if they were going to score in the first half, did they?
No, that's quite right. But as we were talking at half-time to one or two people, Port Vale all tend to be a second-half team, and they do start to play. Last week at Reading, of course, they were beaten by 3-0 down at half-time, and they came back in the second half. They didn't really start performing until then, and I think they have got to get the midfield going, in particular Bogey, Van der Laan, and make more use of Steve Guppy on this left-hand side. He's got to get down this left-hand wing and provide some crosses for Martin Foyle and Tony Naylor in this second half, and hopefully the goals will come.
And I think Stoke City, I think it's going to be a case of more of the same, really.
That's quite right, yes. Down this right-hand side, they've not done too badly with Kevin Keane and John Butler in particular, and I think if they can feed crosses into Pesky Salido and Carruthers, then I'm sure that Pesh in particular will be anxious to get on the end of a few and pop a few into the back of the net.
Well, thanks, Simon. This is John Butler to get the ball back to Ronnie Sinclair. And Pesh gets the header down, cut out though by Neil Aspin. And there was an offside there. Vince Overson will just leave the ball where it is, play it forward. He's going to leave it for Ronnie Sinclair. As you know, he's taken it a good deal bit further just to get in line with the linesman's flag. Floats it forward. Porter gets the header on. Guppy heads forward. Foyle miscontrols. Sigurðsson can play it forward only as far as Tankard though. And Cranston gets a powerful header forward. Van der Laan turns, clears, sets up a chase for Martin Foyle, and Sigurðsson does the right thing there just to get the ball into touch. Porter quickly takes that one to Sanderman. The Sanderman gives the ball completely away there to Pesky Salido, and Gleghorn gets the ball in looking for Carruthers. It'll fall for Kevin Keane. Robbed by Steve Guppy though, needs to clear Steve Guppy, he does so. Steve Guppy aware that he's going to be needed defensively as well as attackingly this afternoon. And this time that's a throw into Stoke City. Loris Sigurðsson with it. Chested on from Gleghorn, back to Sigurðsson. Cross put over there. Guppy can clear. John Butler. Kevin Keane. Back to Butler. And Butler couldn't get the cross in, and it's going to be cleared up the line by Tankard. Only as far as Wallace. Van der Laan to Naylor. Glover. Porter for Port Vale. Using the width of this pitch to its full effect to find Sanderman. Sanderman puts on a chase there for Ian Bogey, and Cranston clears into touch for the Port Vale throw. Still a very, very cold afternoon here at the Victoria Ground. That was helped along his own box by Paul Allen. This is Pesky Salido though. Carruthers beaten to that one by Tankard. Overson finding Keane. And Keane misplaces the pass to give Port Vale another throw-in. And they are looking a lot more lively in the second half already, Port Vale. Tankard with this one. Naylor finds Foyle, and there's an offside there. Foyle adjudged to have been marginally offside there, Simon.
Very close decision indeed, but the linesman was spot on there. His flag was up straight away, immediately, no hesitation, but it was a very close one, only fractions of inches in there. Incidentally, Stoke attacking the Boothen end in the second half, and they always say with the Boothen roar behind them, Stoke are worth a goal. Let's see if that is going to be the case in this second half.
That's right, and equally Port Vale attacking the end with their supporters packed in, so they'll be helped along with that notion. But there's it's a lovely sight that away to the goal to our right, a packed Boothen end, and they can be amongst the best in the Ensley League when they want to roll. But this is Tony Naylor, and he forces a good save into Ronnie Sinclair. And Naylor was through there, he got his shot on goal, and Tony Naylor did everything right there.
He certainly did, an excellent shot. It was goal bound, it was on target, the first real save that either keeper has had to make, and Ronnie Sinclair got down very well indeed, made a particularly good save, and of course he held on to the rebound as Naylor went following up for any scraps that were about. But an excellent move there by Port Vale, and a sign of things to come hopefully as far as their supporters are concerned.
Well, this is Kevin Keane finding Paul Allen. Carruthers to Wallace. This is Tankard, his shirt's been pulled. The referee sees nothing wrong with the challenge though. And Port Vale have the throw in. Butler finds Keane. Carruthers helps it forward to Keane again. Butler's robbed that one by Tankard. This is Van der Laan. And Guppy helping him to clear. Ball's into touch again though. John Butler adjudged to have stolen 4 or 5 yards there. He's ordered back. Carruthers, Pesky Salido, Wallace, and this is going to be Carruthers. If he can keep this in play, he has done. He's done quite well here, Martin Carruthers. Gets the crossover, and Sanderman, cool as you like, back to Paul Musselwhite. This is Porter in space now, looking for the options. Tony Naylor's gone on a run against Ian Cranston on the far side. He's got Sanderman in support. Finds Sanderman now. Sanderman, and that was well cut out there by Vince Overson. It'll only go as far as Steve Guppy though. Guppy into the feet of Martin Foyle. This is going to be back to Tankard. Tankard looks to measure it there. Left-footed, high and wide, Simon.
Very high and wide there, but certainly Port Vale, some lovely movement, in particular Andy Porter up to Tony Naylor. Naylor knocking the ball back there to Sanderman, and then Steve Guppy coming into the game, but it's well worth the effort. The wind, of course, swirling around the Victoria ground. It's still slightly raining outside, and certainly well worth the effort from Alan Tankard, even though it was high and wide.
Well, thanks, Simon. Of course, you can normally hear Simon reporting on Port Vale for Signal Radio. 1170 on the medium wave. But he's turned his attentions to television, and he's with us on First Team Television this afternoon. And so far it's 0-0. Stoke City 0, Port Vale 0. But Pesky Salido, well, he hit that one, managed to keep his knee over the ball, keep the ball down, but it was a long way wide of the Port Vale goal. Having a word with a few of the supporters at half-time, and they said it was a typical Potteries derby, full of tackling and midfield play, but not a lot in the way of goal-scoring opportunities. But the first two have come Port Vale's way in the second half. Guppy heads it back. Glover puts it into touch. And this is John Butler finding Keane. Keane back to Butler. Glover robbed by Pesky Salido, and Pesky Salido pull back for the challenge on Dean Glover. The two substitutes for Stoke City today are John Gale and Keith Scott. And John Butler safely heads that one forward. Van der Laan gets the head to that. This is Ian Bogie. And he gives that one straight to Nigel Gleghorn. And Gleghorn has Carruthers on the far side. They need support in the box to Stoke City. And Neil Aspin puts the ball into touch for a Stoke City throw. Nigel Gleghorn across there quickly to take. Combines with Lars Sigurðsson. Tankard heads out of goal. Guppy turns it upfield. Tony Naylor battling away to get there though. John Butler ahead of him. And Guppy tries to clear it, ricochets off a Stoke player. This is going to be Tony Naylor, Vince Overson in there. John Butler turns it forward. Guppy heads, finds Van der Laan. Foyle sets a chase up for Tony Naylor. Van der Laan. Dean Glover caught into two minds there, but ball cleared upfield. Vince Overson gets the header on there. So does Cranston. Dean Glover. And again, it's going to be a Stoke City throw-in on this near side. Both managers sticking and putting their faith in the two teams that started this game. No substitutions as yet. But this is going to be a run. Martin Carruthers against Neil Aspin, and Neil Aspin heads forward. Keeps the ball in play. Carruthers can reach that one. And does quite well there. Aspin though, over very, very quickly. And again, Stoke City have a throw in. And this time, just 2 yards away from that corner flag. Johnny Butler over there to take it. Straight behind though for a Port Vale goal kick. And that was a throw in wasted, Simon.
Exactly there. Kevin Keane had gone for putting the ball there, but John Butler threw it to where he'd moved, and of course an excellent chance there for Stoke City. Completely wasted. They got possession of the ball. Carruthers putting Aspin under tremendous pressure there. I thought there was a bit of communication problem between Aspin and goalkeeper Paul Musselwhite, but Aspin clearing his lines there. And certainly from a set piece, you've got to make the most of those, because goal scoring opportunities in a local derby are going to be few and far between, and I feel that a set piece is an ideal opportunity from where a goal is going to come from. But sadly Stoke wasting one there with Butler's throw in.
Well, yes, Stoke City have another throw in on this near side. Well, in fact, they have a free kick just infield. And Overson it is who takes the long free kick forward. It's headed by Neil Aspin. This is Tony Naylor. Van der Laan looking for Bogie, and that was a great interception by Lars Sigurðsson. And he on the ball now, moves forward, finds Pesky Salido. Keane turns it back towards Paul Allen. Back to Keane. Keane gets the cross in, and watched all the way though by Paul Musselwhite. It's going to be a throw into Port Vale on this near side. And we're going to have a substitution. Big John Gale is going to come into the affray for the number 10, Martin Carruthers. This is going to be a Stoke City free kick. Kevin Keane to take it. He's going to look for John Gale, surely. And that's going to be a goal kick. So John Gale then brought into the action, Simon, and obviously that's to give Stoke City some more aerial power.
That's right, yes. I'm very surprised actually Gale Allscott wasn't on from the very start, because aerial power isn't exactly Port Vale's strong point, in particular the height of big John Gale. He's well over 6'3", 6'4", and his hair, no questions now as to what Stoke are looking to do. They're looking to get the ball into that penalty area, onto the head of John Gale, and hopefully that's where Pesky Salido will benefit more from flick-ons.
Martin Foyle though on the attack for Port Vale, cuts in field, looks up for the shot there, and it was drifting high of the Stoke City goal. Well worth the effort though. And we know that Tony Naylor only survived a late fitness test, and your thoughts though, Simon? Is John Rudge likely to make a change at some point, do you think?
Could be well later on, about some 10-15 minutes left to go. I think we might well see Lee Glover brought into the action, and also Kevin Kent. Very windy up here at the moment, as we can tell, but I think that Kent may well come on to replace Steve Guppy, and I think Tony Naylor, of course, who has really run his socks off this afternoon as far as Port Vale are concerned. He's always chasing after loose balls. He may well give way to Lee Glover later on as the game wears on.
Well, it's Naylor trying to cut in field, and he was blocked out there by the Stoke City defence. This is John Gale. Gives the ball to Steve Guppy. Guppy finds Tankard. Tankard meshes one forward, looking for Foyle. Brings it down. Looking for the options, though. And he forces Bradley Sanderman wide, and the ball had gone out of play for a Stoke City throw. Sigurðsson going to take this one. Sanderman forward, Cranston cuts it out. John Gale. This is Carruthers, back to Sigurðsson. Paul Allen turns it along to Pesky Salido. Pesky Salido trying to carve himself out an opening here, and Neil Aspin gets across there, and Bogey in possession finds Andy Porter. Porter turns it infield, gives it away though to Ray Wallace. Ray Wallace finds Pesky Salido again. Paul Allen, and this is Ray Wallace. Gets his shot on, and it's well lost by Paul Musselwhite. And you feel that Ray Wallace really ought to have done better with that, Simon, with the space and time that he had.
That's right, you seem to want an acre of time there, Ray Wallace. An excellent chance for Stoke City there. Like I said not so long ago, you don't get too many chances in a derby match, and that really can be put down to a very good chance, and really one of Stoke's best chances in the match so far.
Van der Laan clears. This is Kevin Keane. Sigurðsson finding Glegon. Glegon clips it forward, it's out of play though. Bradley Sanderman on the far side to take this one. He's going to look for the options as players moving. He's been told to get on with it. This is Porter. Martin Foyle. Back to Sanderman. Martin Foyle again. Back to Sanderman. Back to Foyle. Flicked in for Porter. This is Sanderman. Sliding in was Vince Overson. And this in possession is Paul Allen. Gives it away to Van der Laan. And that's going to be an offside. Tony Naylor had strayed just a yard or so offside. But Port Vale holding their own in this half and giving as good as they're getting. And like Simon has quite rightly said, you don't get too many chances in a derby game. Stoke City had a glorious opportunity just a while ago, and so did Tony Naylor for Port Vale earlier on in the half. This is Pesky Salido. He can normally turn on a bit of magic. Couldn't this time though, as Neil Aspin puts in the clearance. Cranston. Tankard cuts it out, finds Guppy. Gives it to John Gale though. It's a derby littered with errors this afternoon. And this is Kevin Keane. Pesky Salido Gleghorn. Sigurdsson goes on the overlap. Paul Allen in oceans of space here. So is John Butler. And Guppy wins the challenge. Foyle turns it on for Van der Laan streaming forward. And they look for Tony Naylor there, but Sigurdsson and Cranston have got him covered, and there's an offside for Port Vale. So it's fast and furious action. It's a great atmosphere here at the Victoria Ground. But there's no goals. Stoke City 0, Port Vale 0. Musselwhite, long clearance. This is Guppy trying to get in there against Johnny Butler. And John Butler wins the throw-in off Steve Guppy. John Gale. Yet another Stoke City throw-in. John Butler across to take this one. Tankard in there against John Gale. This is Ian Bogie in possession, finding Porter. Porter to Bogie, and Bogie plays the ball forward. And this Naylor and Cranston eventually gets the clearance in. Sanderman. Sanderman remonstrating with the referee there, and it's play's been pulled back. I think that was a handball, wasn't it, Simon?
That's right, yeah. Sanderman trying to control the ball right on the touchline there. I think he nudged it with his right arm. He didn't agree with the referee's decision, but it bounced up straight off the turf into his hand, and I think he just tried to nip that one around the Stoke defender there and trying to gain some advantage. But referee quite rightly in right position to give the right decision.
Well, there's a header there, and it's just wide from Nigel Gleghorn, and it was big John Gale that was causing the problems. And Stoke City very nearly stole the lead there. Well, it's the 22nd of April, and it feels like the 22nd of January. It is so cold here at the Victoria Ground, but the things are warming up on the pitch as Foyle finds Guppy down the overlap. Guppy skins his man there, gets the crossover, and Gleghorn back defending, and that was a moment of magic from Steve Guppy.
Just what John Rodger be hoping for this afternoon. I said at half-time that Guppy hadn't really been in the first half, but he had an excellent delivery, a lovely link-up with Martin Foyle on that left-hand side, and that really the best cross of the match so far in the game. A tremendous cross into the far post, and Stoke defender there having to head over and give Port Vale a corner. This could be dangerous. Guppy's going to curl this in with his left foot. Let's see what can happen from this one.
Well, they've not had too much joy from corners so far in the match, Port Vale. Let's see what they can do here, though. Steve Guppy swinging this one towards the goal with the left foot. Foyle! It's there! Martin Foyle has scored for Port Vale. Well, we said it just took one moment of magic, and it was there from Steve Guppy combining with the great Martin Foyle, who gets his 18th strike of the season. Simon.
Well, I tipped Martin Foyle to score, actually. I had a slight wager on that before the kick-off. He hasn't scored for a while. That was an absolute superb delivery of a corner from Steve Guppy. We were mentioning that delivery had to be inch perfect, and Martin Foyle, the Stoke defence, didn't pick him up. An absolute superb header from Martin Foyle, and Port Vale are in front.
Well, there you go. It's the visitors that have the lead, and Guppy is trying to set up another chase for Tony Naylor here. And this time Cranston makes no mistake in clearing into touch.
Really well.
And Foyle, well, you got to ask for more than that from a set play, can you? Martin Foyle's execution of that corner was brilliant. The Stoke City, though, won't lie down and die. They will come back at Port Vale, but it's Port Vale attacking at the moment, and it's Guppy that gets across, and Foyle there again. And it was Gleghorn that got the header back. it's all the Port Vale supporters making the noise at the moment. John Gale gets up there. Porter finding Sanderman. And Sanderman's clearance found touch there. This is Porter. Well, it's whistle's gone there. Free kick Stoke City. This time it's a goal kick to Port Vale.
Port Vale fans, right?
There's some Port Vale fans that have gone into the Stoke City stand here. Well, back with the action. This is Pesky Salido for Stoke. He's beaten to that one by Porter. Long ball forward now. The Sigurðsson got the foot there. Naylor though trying to hold it up. This is going to be Ian Bogey. Bogey, Van der Laan to Foyle, and Foyle now looking for the options. Sanderman whips the ball over, drops though. And this is Paul Allen. Pesky Salido doing very, very well. He tries to cut inside. Salido, Pesky Salido come very, very close to getting the shot on the target there. And the ball was put out for a Stoke City corner. Kevin Keane across there to take this one. Musselwhite got the punch to it. Cranston. Duffy gets the challenge in there, and Sigurðsson lets fly from all of 25 yards, and it was never going to trouble the Port Vale goal, that. Porter clears. It's going to be a throw in to Stoke City on the far side. This is Big John Gale, and Paul Musselwhite watched it all the way. Glad to say this trouble where the Port Vale fans seem to have been with the Stoke City fans. Well, it fizzled out to nothing, thank goodness. I think it was a case of mistaken identity there, Simon.
Well, I think what it is there's a couple of family actually in here, in the Bruthen stand that we are sitting in, and some of the Stoke supporters, the younger fans, have told the police that there was nothing. The Port Vale fans weren't causing any harm at all. They haven't been gesticulating or doing any harm at all. And I think quite rightly, and the police have let them carry on. The Stoke supporters, remarkable there. They've told the police they're not doing anything wrong at all, untoward, and the police have just gone away, and hopefully things have quietened down.
So everything's hunky-dory and everybody's happy at the end of the day, which is good. I mean, we'd like to see things kept nice and even on the pitch, off the pitch, and it's been a good battle out there. It's Port Vale that have had the momentum, and Andy Porter's gone down injured. Andy Porter went down there, and Porter's hurt there, Simon, because he doesn't go down for no reason.
That's quite right, yes. I think that was John Gale actually who got him with a challenge. One or two of the Vale players look a bit disappointed with that, but I think it was a fair ball that had to be won there, and let's hope that Andy Porter is all right. It's not too often we see him going down. He doesn't shirk out of any challenge, Andy Porter. Tremendous professional footballer, and let's hope that he is okay.
Well, I've never seen him shy out of any challenge, Andy Porter, but he's certainly down injured. He's certainly fouled that challenge. Don't think there was anything maliciously wrong with the challenge. John Gale knew there was a ball there to be won. Andy Porter, he's okay. He's okay to continue. So Musselwhite makes the clearance. Foyle's there. Cranston wins that one though. And this is Porter. Looks to measure the ball forward. He's cut out though by Sigurdsson. And Gleghorn challenged there by Andy Porter. A Stoke City throw. Glover. And yet again on the far side, Stoke City have a throw. Sigurdsson will take this one. Looking for Gleghorn. And Gleghorn is impeded there. And this is a free kick in a dangerous position. And Kevin Keane will take this right-footed. And he'll look for Overson, Sigurdsson, or maybe Cranston. Cranston's got a few goals from this sort of position before. And of course, Big John Gale's going to be there. Van der Loen it was that got the header on, and that's going to be a corner. So there's still some defensive work to be done here. If Port Vale are going to walk away with this win, Stoke City are going to throw everything forward now, that I am sure. Corner comes in, Gale's there. And also Vince Overson got his head to that ball. Goal kick though, Port Vale. Musselwhite. Cranston gets the header there. Paul Allen is there. This is John Gale. Finds John Butler. Butler forward. Tankard gets there. And Van der Loen clears upfield. Cranston there again. Interesting back header that from Cranston. And again, game's been stopped there for an infringement. And it's going to be Ian Cranston to hit this one forward. Again, Overson's made his way forward. John Gale's there. He's aimed towards John Gale. Bogey. And Paul Allen just intercepted the pass there from Ian Bogey. But it went harmlessly back to Paul Musselwhite in the Port Vale goal. So at the moment it's Martin Foyle that's continued to be a thorn in Stoke City's side as he has been in the past. But wait a moment, Stoke City trying to come forward, but it was cut out by Ian Bogey. And in space now, Tony Naylor tries to cut across the face, gets it back, tries the clever chip. And Tony Naylor, well Simon, I'll leave the comment to you.
Very unlucky there, of course. Sigurdsson got across, got an excellent challenge in on Naylor. The ball ricocheting back to Naylor, and then of course he tries to be very cheeky indeed, tries to chip Ronnie Sinclair, saw him off his line, but of course chipped that one just a little too high.
$20,429 watching this game this afternoon, and that's a great gate that this afternoon. And it's all added to an interesting confrontation on the pitch. No confrontations off the pitch, we're pleased to say. And it's been an absolutely tremendous atmosphere as Port Vale press forward again through Tony Naylor. That's going to be a goal kick. It was shoulder to shoulder. And you don't get much change out of Ian Cranston, Simon.
You certainly don't there. The little fella against the big fella there, and it was easy to see who was going to win that one. The big fella Cranston just shouldering into Tony Naylor, pushing him off his feet, and that being a goal kick straight away.
David and Goliath, you can say. John Gale though, it's hit at Pesky. Salido's got a chance to level it. It's come off the bar. Gale, and Pesky Salido holds his head in his hands, but he did everything right. It was a marvellous strike there, Simon.
Superb run from Pesky Salido, then he got an excellent shot in. Unfortunately for Port Vale, the ball coming back off the post, but as you say, Pesky Salido did everything right. Tremendous shot, but unfortunately for Stoke, it came back off the post.
Our corner's been taken. Allen gets it back to Wallace. Wallace plays it forward. Cranston's there. It falls for Guppy. Now, what can Guppy do? Needs to move upfield for Port Vale. Releases the ball. Wallace there, turns cheekily. Gets the ball back to Sinclair, and Sinclair can clear. Keane, Glegorn. And Aspin's across there. John Butler finds Keane, back to Butler. Wallace. And Glover puts the ball into touch. And it's yet another Stoke City throwing on this near side. Butler to take. Sigurðsson. And Guppy got a glancing header on there. And Stoke City yet again force another throw-in on this near side. This is Butler. Makes for the byline. Cuts the cross over. It's an excellent cross. Musselwhite in there. And Glegorn was there. And yet again, Port Vale can breathe, Simon.
That's quite right, yes. I think the Vale were looking for a foul on goalkeeper Paul Musselwhite. So often referees, of course, always favour a goalkeeper, but the ball screaming out of Musselwhite's grasp, and an excellent chance for Glegorn, but he couldn't quite get his foot over the ball and put it into the back of the net.
Wallace then measures the cross. John Gale's there. Hooked in by Sigurðsson. Foiled back defending. Overhead by Pesky Salido. And Pesky and Salido. Neil Aspin and Dean Glover have words. And John Gale, and I don't think I'd like to argue with John Gale.
Quite right, I don't think I'd like to bang into John Gale at the best of times, but he went in there as peacemaker. I think Pesky Salido was a bit unhappy with Dean Glover there, but they tried to shake hands there. Gale coming in and quite rightly sorted things out.
Porter it is with a cross. Hits Vince Overson though. Glegorn measures one forward, and Sanderman slides into Cranston, and that's going to be a sending off. He's already been booked. And Ian Cranston is sent off, and I find that remarkable. I find that absolutely remarkable. I did not think that was a sending off offence.
Certainly right, we'd have to see that incident again, but Sandyman went in on the far side, he slid in for a challenge. Cranston, the ball was there to be won, 50-50, but obviously the referee has seen things differently, and he sent Cranston off. Bad news for Stoke, they're reduced to 10 men now, a little under 5 minutes to go. Can't understand the referee's decision there, very strange. Certainly not a malicious challenge in any sort of way by Ian Cranston. Now we have a spectator on the pitch.
You've got to say that was a 50-50 ball. And we're not even going to show you the mindless idiot that's straight onto the pitch. I think the police will deal with him, and quite rightly so. But a 50-50 ball, the ball was there to be won, and I find that remarkable. So the free kick's taken forward. Van der Laan's there, Vince Overson's there. Guppy cuts infield. Does well, Guppy. Naylor. It'll fall for Ian Bogey. Bogey looks to the cross. And it's Glegorn that hoots it away from goal. And Sigurðsson, just look at the commitment there as he streams forward, trying to keep the ball into play. Well, this game's had a bit of everything, really. It's been blood and guts on the pitch. And we've now had a sending off. And that's just what Stoke City didn't need. Porter leathers one towards the goal, and he just hit the side netting. Lopes it along. Dean Glover. Pesky Salido this is now. Lays it off there for Ray Wallace, who brings John Butler on the overlap. John Butler again. Pesky Salido's there. And it's Andy Porter across there to put in the challenge. And still the Stoke City faithful urge the red and white strips forward. And they certainly give a good account of themselves this afternoon, Stoke City. Just that one moment turned the game when Martin Foyle got on the end of the corner from Steve Guppy. But this is Kevin Keane, who can cross a decent ball himself. Trying to link with John Butler, and they've won a corner. Steve Guppy there, back defending. So Kevin Keane, well, it was a corner that Port Vale scored from. Can this be the corner that Stoke City scored from? Musselwhite was held back there. Bogey, though, can clear. And Tony Naylor, he's got time. He needs a bit of space. Lays it back for Bogey. Bogey cuts in field and releases a marvellous spoil out there for Martin Foyle. Foyle cuts back in field, looks for the shot, hits Gleghorn. Porter. Porter's there. Drags it wide of this near post. And how to turn a tap. That was remarkable. That really was remarkable playing there from Port Vale. Away from the corner. Misjudged the bounce to Ray Wallace. Tony Naylor steams forward, and it all ends, and Andy Porter shooting wide. Gale's there. Gleghorn gets the header forward. Van der Laan. Port. This is Guppy. The excitement's getting to us now, but there's only moments to go in this game now, and it's the visitors who have that one-goal cushion. Stoke City 0, Port Vale 1, and Martin Foyle the scorer. Foyle heads forward, Sigurdsson is back there, Sinclair clears out a goal, John Gale heads forward. Foyle was there, it was well watched by John Butler though. Van der Laan and Paul Allen. Paul Allen leashes the ball up, it's cut out by Guppy though. Keane beaten there by the ball forward. It's going to be a Port Vale throw in. Foyle gets the header, just keeps it in play. Naylor's there. Stoke City throw. Keane back to Wallace. Wallace looking for John Gale. And Keane, it was that tried the shot, and that's going to be a corner. It came off Neil Aspin.
Possibly the last chance.
It is going to be possibly the last chance that Stoke City will have in this game, as Simon has quite rightly said. Chipped to the near post. Oh, cleared. Musselwhite can catch from the head of Vince Overson, the Stoke City skipper. Musselwhite will surely take his time here. Not too long though, the keeper will be watching this. Foyle tries to get the flick on, he didn't get anywhere needed though. Sigurdsson clears upfield, Foyle back there again. Gleghorn sets up a chase for Pesky Salido, and Aspin clears into touch. Yet another Stoke City throw. Sigurdsson's there. Gleghorn. He'll look for Gleghorn. He looks for Pesky Salido. Sigurdsson crosses in. Gale's there. This will fall for Van der Laan. Van der Laan moves forward. And that's a superb challenge from John Butler there. Alan Tankard then with this throw in for Port Vale. How the Port Vale supporters want this whistle, and how the Stoke City supporters wish the referee out on 5 minutes of extra time or injury time. But this is Tony Naylor looking for the cross for Porter. Porter and Gleghorn, and it's Porter that wins the challenge. and concedes a throw-in. But it's been a cracking match, full of incidents, and we're a little bit disappointed with the sending off of Ian Cranson. But this is Paul Allen. Gets it forward. Aspin's there. Aspin hits it into touch.
The very last throw of the dice.
As Simon said, it's going to be the very last throw of the dice, and the referee has already looked at the watch. Ball played forward though. Keane. Paul Allen in there. Bogey it is that gets the ball back to Sanderman. And that's it! It's a historic Port Vale victory. Port Vale take the honours for the first time in the league. And just for his final comments, brief as they may be, Simon.
An absolute superb derby game, I think. Neil Aspin there epitomising how he feels for those Port Vale supporters away to my left. Absolutely delighted. A tremendous game decided by a superb goal from Martin Foyle. Steve Guppy's right wing corner, curled him with his left foot. Foyle there with a header. I said we didn't get too many goals in Potteries derbies. A set piece finally deciding it. But I'm sure that Port Vale and their players, in particular manager now John Rodge, he can sit back and relax that bit more, because that 3 points now definitely secures First Division football next season for Port Vale. Superb performance from Stoke. They battled, they harried, they tried their best in the opening half, but in the second half they were penalised when Cranson was sent off for a very debatable decision indeed. But I'm sure Port Vale absolutely delighted with that performance. Final score of Port Vale 1, Stoke 0. Excellent performance from Port Vale.
Thanks to Simon Humphreys for his comments. Don't forget you can hear Simon week in, week out on Signal Sport AM 1170. But from me, Tony Wally, with the final score, Stoke City 0, Port Vale 1.